Alright, hey grade 8, so this is part 2 to 6.1. So a function is a type of relation that assigns exactly one output to each input. So I'll give you an example in real life. So look at your keyboards, and each key will result in a specific letter or symbol. So let's say that your keyboard's caps lock is turned off. So on your keyboard you see all capital letters, right? But if you press the keys, if you press the A key there, you will get lowercase a. Press B, you will get B. You press T, you will get T. So again, this is a one-to-one relation because each input has exactly one output, right? It's not like if I press the M key, you will get Y. So if that's the case, then you need to replace your keyboard. Let me show you a non-example though. So a non-example means so something that's not a function. So when at least one input in a relation has more than one output, the relation is not a function. So whenever you see that one input has more than one output, that's when you know. So I'll give you, these are the inputs: Miss Stephanie, Miss Hannah, and Pa Adi. And the relation is the subjects that they teach. And the outputs would be, again, the subjects that they teach, right? And of course, you know that I teach math, Miss Hannah teaches science, and only science, and me only math. But then Pa Adi here, he teaches both Bahasa Indonesia and PPKN. So because Pa Adi here, he has more than one output, or he teaches more than one subject, makes this whole thing not a function. Okay, easy? Alright. And maybe you'll ask, okay, so that's interesting. What else can we do with functions? So graphically, this is what it looks like. Before anything, I'm going to introduce to you the vertical line test. So if a relation is a function, then any vertical line drawn through a graph of the relation, it will always intersect the graph at exactly one point. So intersect the graph at exactly one point. Let me show you how that works. Okay, we're going to determine these graphs if they're a function or not. Okay, so a vertical line test is basically if you take your pencil and you go through the lines, see if the graph intersect your pencil, because it's straight, right? Only once at a time. So which means, so if I start from here, do you see how the graph intersects with my vertical line once here, and then there once, and then here as well? Do you see how it only intersects at one point, right? So this is what we call the vertical line test. We're just testing if the points only intersect once. Okay, so this graph here makes proves that the graph passes the vertical line test. So this graph here is a function. Okay, let's check graph 2 here. Again, you're going to start from left to right. So we don't have anything here, right? So nothing too significant. So we're going to start where the graph starts, so here. Okay, immediately you see that the graph intersects at 2 points. So we already know this is not a function. And again, we're going through the graph, so it passes nothing here, here. So this is all right, right? So none of these. Okay, so this one touches the graph at one point, nothing here. So here, again, this touches the vertical line twice again. So we have two things that proves that this is not a function. Okay, so I want you guys to do graph 3 here by yourselves. Is this a graph? Is this a function, or is this not a function? So this is not a function. Okay, let's test it out. We're going to start from here. So this is okay. So nothing here. Here it touches the vertical line once again. So here it touches the graph once. But then here, this touches the graph at 2 points. So you can just stop there and say this is not a function. So you might be asking, Miss Stephanie, how is that true? How do we know that this is not a function? First of all, let's create a relation for the books sold and dollars. So our input is our books sold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And then we have the amount of money we get in dollars. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So do you see how if you sell one book, you get $5, 2, 10, 3, 15, 4, 20, 5, 25, 6, 30, 7, 35, 40, so on and so forth, right? So basically this is 1 to 1, right? So that's why on the graph it's easier, because we can totally see that each of these inputs will give you one output. But on the contrary, we can, let's do graph 2 here. So this one, our inputs are our x's here, right? So we got -2, where else? 1 and 3. Okay, and our outputs are our y values. We have A, B, C, and D, and E. Okay, so -2 here, the x here has two y values. It's mapped onto A and onto E. So immediately it's one too many, right? We already know it's one too many, which is not a function. And 1 is mapped onto C, so that's fine. But then again, 3 is mapped onto B and D. Okay, so this relationship is not only so it's one too many because of -2 and also 3. So it's not a function, because again, the definition of a function, let's go back, it is a type of relation that assigns exactly one output. As you notice, this is 1 to 1, right? One output, but this one is 1 to many. Okay, the same thing as here. this is one to many. Okay, and we have two examples here. So instead of just points, what if I give you a line or curves, right? So I want you to try these out and see if you can do the vertical line test and see if you can infer that graph 4 and 5 are functions or not. So go ahead and do that. Okay, so again, take your pencil, your ruler, and run through these lines here. So I'm going to draw again, this is my vertical line test. So do you see it only intersect at one point? I'm going to, hold on, copy this. Okay. And then again, you just go through this. Do you see how it only intersects at one line every time I just go through from left to right? So you get the point, right? So you can just do this. Wherever you are on this graph, you do the vertical line test. It only intersects once. So like here, 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 everywhere, right? Only once. The graph only intersects once at the vertical line test. See, there you go. So what does that mean? It means that it is a function. Okay. Alright, so look at graph 5 here. For this one, you can already tell, okay, for this, so we're going to left to right. So this one only 1 point, but then immediately, do you see how this graph intersects twice here? This vertical line. Also twice here. So twice everywhere, right? Here, 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 even here, right? So this, you already know, this is not a function. Not a function. Because this is also a one-to-many relation. Okay? That is all. And I hope you guys have a great day and don't forget to practice.